Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be doing another album review. I just got another album in today, so yay, another album review. Today this time I'm going to be reviewing the album Seven Churches by the band Possessed. This was originally released in 1985. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so this was originally released in 1985. I guess this particular copy is a 2011 re-release. It doesn't say anything about a remaster, so I guess this is not a remaster, it's just a re-release. But yeah, so this was originally released in 1985, and it was one of the many albums that inspired Chuck Schuldiner when he created the album Scream Bloody Gore. Yeah, so band members. Hold on. This is stuck. Hold on. There we go. Hold on for a second. I haven't even looked at the booklet, so I don't know where the credits are. Oh, they're all throughout here. Hold on. So, Mike Seuss on drums. Jeff Becerra on bass and vocals. And I think, hold on, it has sort of a weird sort of format for the words, so it's kind of difficult to decipher certain letters, as you can see. Oh, that almost fell. Jeff, I think it's pronounced Becerra. Jeff Becerra. Oh, on bass and vocals, and oh no, wait, sorry, I was on the other one. I think it's Larry. I don't know I can't even make out certain letters of the guy's last name because of the way the words are. The font that they chose to use is just hard to decipher certain letters. But yeah, so that's the band members. Now on to the actual songs. Okay, so I first listened to the whole album today when it arrived. But before that, I had heard 2 songs from this album already, which I'll get to in a minute. Hold on. Sorry. This is stuck. Give me a second. All right, there we go. So yeah. So the album's okay. So the album starts off with the song "The Exorcist," and I'm pretty sure it's based off of the movie The Exorcist, given the fact that the intro to the song is the theme of the movie The Exorcist. Hold on. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's based off of the movie since they used the theme in the beginning of the song. It's really good. I love how they use the Exorcist theme. And then the song itself is pretty good. Has some amazing riffs. The drumming's awesome. The second song, oh yeah, by the way, The Exorcist is one of the 2 songs I have heard before. Anyway, track number 2, Phantasm, I think, Phantasm. Oh no, Pentagram, sorry, again, certain letters, because of the way, certain letters are hard to make out, like, because of the way that the font is, so, yeah, Pentagram, Pentagram, it's an okay song. I do like it. It's just There's better songs on the album, but still a good song. Track number 3, Burning in Hell. This one starts off. This one I think Slayer might have been inspired by, because on this song it starts off with like sort of like a choir of demonic voices. So that kind of reminded me of the title track to the Slayer album, Hell Awaits. So I guess Slayer were inspired by this song, kind of. But yeah, this is a good song. Again, really memorable riffs. Great drumming. Okay, so one thing I do think. Now, I'll say my overall thoughts after I list off the tracks and stuff. But yeah, so great drumming, great solos, not great solos, but great riffs. Anyway, track number 4, Evil Warriors, definitely has one. I really love this song. Definitely has one of my favorite riffs from the album. Like, it's really memorable. Very fast paced, very catchy as well. The drumming's also really good. Again, most of the stuff that's really stuck out to me the most are the riffs and the drumming. Track number 5 is the title track, Seven Churches. This one is, I would say it's definitely a grower for me. I think it's okay now, but definitely will have to grow on me. Track number 6, Satan's Curse. This one is slightly better than the title track, just by a hair. But I do really love it. Track number 8. No, hold on. 5, 6. Track number 7. Sorry, it's numbered with Roman numerals, and I'm Roman numerals, like it's weird because I'm so used to just numbers, and like when growing up I never really was taught Roman numerals, so like I only knew like up to like 5 or 6, and then the rest were kind of confusing to me. Again, I don't know, I just never really taught Roman numerals. I kind of had to learn them myself, but never really kept up with it. Anyway, so yeah, track number 7. Wait, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. Track number 7, Holy Hell. This one is definitely one of my top favorites from the album. The riff is amazing. The drums are awesome. The vocals on here I do think are pretty good. Track number 8, Twisted Minds. This blew me away. Like, yeah, I mean, the guitar solos in here, for the most part, aren't really that memorable and are kind of subpar. But the guitar solo on Twisted Minds, however, is what really got me from saying, okay, this album is pretty good, to, from mostly, got me to saying, okay, most of these songs are pretty good, but then this one is just like, whoa, okay, I wasn't really expecting a very absolutely memorable guitar solo, just because until hearing this song, the solos were just kind of meh. But yeah, Twisted Minds is an awesome song. Track number 9, Fallen Angel. This is the only song that I generally like completely dislike. Other than it's a really weird intro, like a bell, but the bell's it's toned very weird. But yeah, it's just a song I just don't really like all that well. It's just probably the worst song on the album. Track number 10, Death Metal, the other of the 2 songs that I have heard before. This one I do like. Again, it's definitely one of my top favorites. Has a really cool riff. The vocals are pretty good on this one. But yeah. So, before I give I'll give my rating at the very end. But I just want to talk about this album for a little bit, just because I do have a lot to say about it. First off, people are clamoring to the top of arguments that this is one of, if not the best, old school death metal album. And despite having a song called death metal, this is not a death metal album. This is not the first death metal album. It is not death metal. Death metal wasn't really a thing until Scream Bloody Gore. This is black and thrash metal. Just like, it has a lot more similarities to albums like Show No Mercy by Slayer and stuff like that than it does to something like Scream Bloody Gore or From Beyond or Altars of Madness and stuff like that. Like, it just has a lot more in common with thrash metal, black and thrash metal, than old school death metal. Like, yeah, like compared to like say like Show No Mercy does. Probably is Show No Mercy is definitely the one I can really say I can compare it to the most, since it's the most like this album. Show No Mercy doesn't have the more guttural. Like the vocals are a lot more guttural on here. The guitars are a lot more down tuned and stuff. But overall, it definitely is a lot more black metal, not black metal, black and thrash metal than death metal. Again, death metal wasn't a thing yet. Despite having a song called death metal, it wasn't really a thing yet. The song just happens to be called death metal, but it wasn't really a genre yet. It wasn't really a genre of metal yet. So this is definitely black and thrash and not death metal. But it did. This album is important, and I guess people lump it in with old school death metal because this album was very important to the creation of death metal. Not like the songs were death metal at all, but like they did inspire a lot of old school death metal bands, especially Death, especially with the first album, Scream Bloody Gore. But yeah, without this album, old school death metal wouldn't have sounded as it does. I mean, as it did. So yeah, this is definitely an important album. And I was surprised when I found out there were only 3 albums from this band. This one, and then the second one from the 80s. And then their third album, their most recent album, is from I think last year, 2019. So that really surprised me. I really thought like a band that has this much recognition would have put out more albums, but apparently not. Kind of like Massacre in a way, how they only have 3 albums, and their most recent one was actually that one was 2014, I think, but still. Anyway, so oh yeah, so also the artwork. I forgot to mention the artwork in the beginning of the video, but the artwork is meh. Like, I think unlike certain albums that have plain black background that work, I think this one is sort of doesn't. It's not as bad. Like, I do like how like they have the band logo very big, so it does take up a lot of space. And then I guess the actual title of the album should have been a lot bigger, almost as big as the logo, so you don't see as much as the black background. But yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but they could have fixed it. I do like the logo, although I've seen better logos, but this logo, I guess for the time, was pretty good. It's band logo Possessed, and it's sort of on fire, and the P has like a devil tail, and the P also, the letter on here, the first letter of the P also is kind of like, it's like bat wings and stuff, and then there's like a upside down cross entangled in the O. And then Seven Churches, the actual title of the album, is in this weird. It almost looks like sort of like a old Chinese or Japanese kind of font. I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of that kind of font. And all the song titles are in that same font. I think that's very unique. I don't think any other band has used this kind of font, so I do like how that's very unique. And instead of using regular numbers, they use Roman numerals, so I guess that's pretty cool too. And then the inside, there's the disc, again the logo, and then the upside down cross, and then 7 churches on the bottom there. One thing to note about the inner part behind the disc, there's something behind the disc. It says 7 hearts on which they'll feast, and then the back of the pamphlet says 7 prayers, 7 bells, 7 churches rise from hell. Very sinister. Yeah, I do like the aesthetic. Hold on. I'm going to take out the pamphlet again. Because there's a lot to see in the pamphlet. Or booklet, or whatever you want to call it. There's not just lyrics, there's also a lot of pictures and stuff. Let's see. And then, yeah, there's some pictures of the band members. Mike Seuss is just holding like a stick or something in his mouth. It's kind of funny. And then there's like a collage of, I guess, different posters for their live shows. And of course the logo up there. I see one of the band members holding an upside down cross. Oh. And he kind of lit it on fire too. You can't really see it in the picture, but yeah. But that's kind of cool. Oh, yep, there you can see it here. He has an upside down cross. It's lit on fire. And then there's the other guy surrounded by fog. And that's really it for the pictures. And there's the little quote. Hold on, let me put this back in the thing. Come on. Hold on, this gets really stuck. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take this pamphlet out that much, because it is starting to scratch because just how tight, compact it fits in here. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, overall, I'd say my rating for this album would be a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it a lower 7 out of 10. I think it's a grower for me. Like, I do appreciate it. I do enjoy certain parts of it, but I probably would have to listen to it a few more times. Yeah, I should have listened to it a few more times before the review, but I don't know. I just like to give my first-hand opinion. My opinion that might change over time. Might like it a lot. Might like this album a lot more over time, but I just wanted to give you my initial opinion. Yeah, so definitely a 7 out of 10, a lower 7 out of 10, but still a 7 out of 10. Probably the highlights of this album for me are the guitar riffs and like 1 or 2 guitar solos, and then the drumming. And then the atmosphere is also really good. I think that what weighs this album down a bit for me is the muddied production. Like, yeah, I know, like other albums of this era, especially with like other albums like Show No Mercy doesn't have the best production, but at least it's clear enough to where you can hear the stuff more clearly. Not like clear production, but like it's still like somewhat, the production quality is somewhat there, a tiny bit, but it's definitely you could hear what's going on whereas this like even if you turn the volume up on your CD player, it's still very muddled, and the vocals are very hard to hear, but not because of the way they are, but like the way the singer sings them, but just because I guess the mixing isn't very good. Like I said, this is not a re-release. I'm not a remaster, because if it was remastered, it would say remastered. I would think. I'm pretty sure this is just a re-release. But yeah, and I don't really care for the vocals on this album all that much. I think the guy sounds like I don't know. I can't remember his name. I completely forgot his name already. But I'm not going to take the pamphlet out again. But the guy's vocals to me sound like a lesser version of Chuck Schuldiner's vocals on Scream Bloody Gore. But yeah, they just don't sound too good. But again, like I said, the drums were great and the guitars are great. It has a really good atmosphere, but I just don't really care for the vocals. But yeah, so that's it for the review of Seven Churches by the band Possessed. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.